And a good Happy New Year to everybody. I'm a little bit late on wishing you that, 11 days late. But this is the first episode of the Jerry Hinkle program to be presented in the year 2016 or 2016, if you prefer. A lot of things have been going on, and let me tell you a little, some housekeeping. On Christmas Day, I had a little mishap with my car. I called it an accident. My dad had a fit about that, so we'll just say it was a mishap. I was driving along the road, and my car overheated. We were in the middle of getting 9 inches of snow, nearly 10 inches. But and the snow was coming down at a pretty fair clip, and the engine was running hot, and I said, well, I thought I'd pull off the side of the road and wait till it cools off. Well, I pulled off Burr onto Norway. Thought I'd go into the South McDonald's parking lot. It was closed for Christmas. Just cool off there and continue on to work. See, I was supposed to work on Christmas night. I didn't make it. No, I didn't make it. But well, long story short, I had to call a tow truck. They took me to their place of business, and and I did not make it to work that day, nor the previous. I had to eventually. I had to bite the bullet and go to a taxi service. So that was then. So that's what I did on my Christmas vacation. Anyhow, so and. But of course, car's been fixed thanks to my brother Daryl, who, if he can't fix a car, you might as well tow it out to the trees, because there ain't nothing you can do. If he can't fix it, ain't nobody can fix it. Ain't nobody can, when it comes to things of that nature, Daryl is the absolute best. I don't know anybody better. And if you do, put that down in the comments, and we'll investigate that. Anyhow, we are coming to you live almost from the Ashley Kringen Studios, his studio here at the UBS Network. And so, what else we got to talk about? Well, during all the things going on, maybe even before that, I can't remember when it was, to tell you the truth, but I saw episode 7 of the Star Wars movie, and there's some people didn't like it for one reason or another. I am sort of it was a little disappointing and predictable. Some of the things that offended some folks were the presence of a black stormtrooper, which did not offend me. I thought that the fellow Finn, I believe, is the character name. He did a perfectly wonderful job. It did not matter what. Other thing people did not like about it was the fact that the female character played by Daisy Ridley, and I can't remember her character name either. I think it was something like Ren or Stimpy or something like. Anyhow, she did a perfectly fine job, and the thing about it is they did not like the fact that she was. Well, the thing of it is, I don't want to give too much of it away because people hate spoilers, but, well, okay. Here's the deal. You go see Star Wars movie if you want to, and you've had nearly a month to do that. You go see that, and then you come back and watch the stuff. We'll be here on YouTube until when you get back, all right? You just shut it off right now. Go see the movie and come back at your earliest convenience. Okay? So, My thinking about this is the young lady in question. Her character is strong in the Force, or the Force is strong in her. I can't quite. Uh, I thought I was a Star Wars fan until I heard all these other people talking about all this other jazz. And, but anyhow, Force is strong with her. So so why are we surprised that she can handle a lightsaber? It's being strongly hinted that she is a Skywalker, because the lightsaber that she was handling so magnificently belonged not only to Luke Skywalker, but to his father Anakin as well, who, without giving too much away, he becomes a very important part of the history of the Star Wars franchise. His own self, Anakin does, because of certain things that this is, well, okay, we all know he becomes Darth Vader sometime later. Um, Anyhow, so that's only two things. And it was disappointing because, and yes, that's right, Han Solo dies, but at the time, when during that scene on the catwalk, uh, I had a strange feeling. It was almost like I was watching episode 4, because this reminded me of the confrontation between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in episode 4, where they went on the catwalk and Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan Kenobi. No! And it's just, and there are, for those who are critical of the movie for being too much like episode 4, I'm with you on that. It was too much like episode 4, because I saw certain things, and I'm not exactly sure how the Daisy Ridley character is is a Skywalker, but I have a theory that I don't know. I haven't heard it, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. And we'll save it for episode 8. I might. And if it turns out that I'm right, I'll tell you about it. If it turns out I'm wrong, I'll tell you, oh, well. But anyhow, that's so I was, my last little item of business I want to discuss with you here happens to do with Bill Cosby. This is going to be very inwardly painful for me, as it is for a lot of people. It's interestingly enough, since Bill Cosby's past sins have come back to haunt him, and it's been a year. The reason I know this is I was on Facebook, and it just happened that I had made some posts about the Felicia Rashad's defense of Cosby. That is, well, if you can call it that. See, last year in January of 2015, or 2015, if you prefer, Felicia Rashad was interviewed, and at the time, I wanted to find out what she had to say, because I had this vision of she was going to be, she was going to get her Claire Huxtable on. She's going to say, "Let the record show," like she does, and like in the other, when she talk about her, when she was Ruth Hilton, or Ruth Lucas, excuse me, it was Hilton. Lucas was the character. It was Cosby's name in the other Cosby show, which was just called Cosby. Or she said, "My name is Ruth. I tell the truth." And I had, this was going to be some epic defense of Bill Cosby. Someone was going to finally silence all the critics. And then when I read what she had to say, it was a rather half-hearted defense at best. And then the very next day, I found out that she said that she had been misquoted. So even her half-hearted defense was a misquote. So, there could be trouble on this. And so the trial for Mr. Cosby is underway. He has not been convicted of anything yet, and time will tell if indeed anything will come of that. And I would like to bring a few things into context. Jesus said, "Let he without sin cast the first stone." So I am not going to judge Mr. Cosby, prematurely on this deal. I'm going to let the courts decide, and they will judge him, and ultimately God the Father will judge him, and so I'm going to abdicate all judgment from this and just say that yes, this if indeed Mr. Cosby is guilty of the unspeakable things that he has been accused of, it is very disappointing, sad, and horrible, to say the least. My own father, I don't agree with a whole lot my father has to say, but on this matter we are in total agreement. This was a very disappointing turn of events. Mr. Cosby could not have disappointed even my father or myself any more than he could have by doing what it is that they are accusing him of doing. As a matter of fact, I'm a little more consistent in my disappointment, because my dad was able to look over Bill Clinton's proclivities. That didn't bother him, and yet Cosby's did, and he talked about, this is just, if it was almost as if he compared him to Billy Graham. If Billy Graham had done this, it couldn't have been more. But the fact of it is, Mr. Cosby is quite human, and if he did not do what he is accused of doing, he has still sinned, just like I have sinned, just like even my father has sinned, I'm sure. I can't really give you a list of his. I could give you a list of my own sins, but I'm not going to do that either. Nor am I going to list Bill Cosby's sins. Mine, on my own, I will say they are many and leave it at that. And I will say a few things about other television fathers. Robert Reed, who played the father in the Brady Bunch, was gay, and that was, I don't know, it was not known at the time. As a matter of fact, I don't know that anybody in the public eye, or rather, I don't think the general public knew about his gay lifestyle until he died of AIDS, shortly after that horrible Our Brady's dramedy that they did in the 90s. Anyhow, not only that, Hugh Beaumont, who played Ward Cleaver, and Robert Young, who played the titular father who knew best, were both alcoholics. Ralph Waite, who played Daddy Walton, was a horrible father in real life, and it was not until he played John Walton, the daddy, that he really knew what it was to be a good father. And so, you know, Cosby has made mistakes, and he is not alone in that. And so I hope that those of us who are watching this come about don't judge him too harshly. Because yes, what he is accused of doing, and what he actually, and if we find out that he did these things that he's being accused of, yes, they are disgustingly horrible, and terrible, and illegal and wrong. But we've all made mistakes, and so the best we can do is to pray for Cosby and his Mr. Cosby, his family, and the family of all of the alleged victims, and of course the alleged victims themselves. And I'll make no bones about it. He looks guilty. To deny it, as Mr. Spock would say, would be illogical. But either way that it turns out, I hope that some sort of closure, healing, if not closure, will come from this, and we'll see how things go from there. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. The legislature is going to be in session in Pierre tomorrow. I guess I don't know if the governor has given his State of the State address or not, but that's usually what happens on a Tuesday, and precious little before that, and just a little bit more than nothing happens after that. But I don't know that any big thing. We're going to get new license plates this year, I understand. I haven't seen any of the new license plates yet. I'm thinking about getting a personalized license plate. So if any of y'all want to see me get it, we'll see. You just let me know, just in the comments there, what you think my personalized license plate should say. Anyhow, we'll get on to that, and later on we'll see how that goes. Shrove Tuesday is going to be here sometime in February. I probably should have looked that up before I mentioned it, but of course, Shrove Tuesday, then we have Ash Wednesday, then we have a whole lot of Lent going on, and finally Easter. We have Valentine's candy at the Walmart, in case you have a sweet tooth. Okay, well, enough of this. We'll just wind it up for another week, hopefully. Won't be much more than that. And until next time, this is the Jerry Hinkle program with your host, Jerry Hinkle, from the Ashley Kringen Studios. Hey, get out of my bathroom. You're invading my privacy.